What up, YouTube? Before we start the video, we got a very important announcement for you.
That's right, we have our new milestone giveaway for 2,000 subscribers. That is a CGC 9.8 graded Thor #1. This cover is a Nick Klein sketch variant that is also signed by Donnie Cates.
What? Are you crazy? Yes, we are. When we hit 2,000 subs, we're giving away this bad boy. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and give us a like. It would be much appreciated because we want to give this away, but we only can do that when we hit 2,000 subs. Let's get to the video. What up, YouTube? I'm Jim.
I'm Nate.
And we are Two Fat Guys Pull List, and we've got another fresh new comic day video for you for the week of November 6th. And it is so beefy, we have no time to talk about anything else, so let's get straight to it. First up on the independent side, we're starting with Boom Studios' Something is Killing the Children, number 0.
Number 0. So this is literally a direct prequel to issue 1. So this isn't like some people were thinking it was like an Erica Slaughter, like her issue 0, but this is actually like just a prequel to issue 1. But this is also going to be our last little bit of Something is Killing the Children. We're going on hiatus, I think, till February, so not too long. And then we're going to stay in the past and work on other things. But here in this issue, I think it's supposed to be an oversized issue, but I want to make sure. So $4.99, 40 pages. You know, we don't do ads, so 40 actual pages.
Nice.
I'm obviously super excited about this. This is my preliminary pick of the week.
So
this book can do no wrong, right?
Is the speculation like do you need to get to the shop early, you think?
I shouldn't. I have it pre-ordered, so
right.
I shouldn't have to worry about it. However, I mean, the speculation on this book is always there. There is a really interesting variant that Dan Mora did, and it is called an intermix variant. And from what I understand, it's going to be in a poly bag that's covered in a black poly bag, and there's 3 different versions, and you don't know what version you're getting.
Oh, that's nuts.
And
so this is it, but you can't. Yeah. You're gonna get a different cover. Wow.
I think that's what I understood that correctly. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it's supposed to be. And some commenters on League have even gone so far as to say that they heard that the 3 issues, there's a 40% chance you're going to get one, a 40% chance you'll get the other, and only a 20% chance you'll get the third. So there's a special rare one in there too. So I don't know.
Are you going to do it?
Boom kind of count. No way. Those days are behind me in my comic book days. We read way too much for me to be able to afford all that. The only time you're going to get me caught on variant covers like that is if like Assad Rivic's coming out hitting the covers hard or something. So
right.
But yeah, super stoked for this issue.
He's in this show, by the way. He's in this show.
He is. It was very cool.
All right, let's move over to Image with Sacrificers, issue number 12 from Rick Remender.
Yeah, this will be quick just because I need to get caught up. I got far behind in my lost days, but here we are back without the lost days. And Sacrificers is coming back from a hiatus, so this will be a perfect time. Anyone else that's behind or hasn't been reading this is the perfect time to get caught up and start. This is a brand new arc. I wouldn't say this is a good starting point. This isn't really how this kind of book is, put together. But I'm excited that they're taking a new direction here. Like it's the end of the first era, and our goals and our mission and stuff like that's kind of radically changing. So super stoked. This has been Rick Remender's great, and this has been one of his stronger stories in a while.
Yeah, you definitely have a fond eye for it for sure. All right, let's jump over to DC with Absolute Superman, issue number 1 from Jason Aaron.
It's a lot of good books this week.
I mean, the Absolute line, the Absolute line has been nothing short of phenomenal. With only Batman and Wonder Woman coming out, and I can't imagine Absolute Superman not being great. It's gotten to the point, and again, I know this is only the 3rd book in the Absolute line, but I've said this on multiple occasions that I believe my DC is probably going to start whittling down to just Absolute and Elseworld stories. They're just that much more compelling, in my opinion. I don't know. And again, that's not really, I'm not trying to do that as a criticism of the other DC books that are in the current continuity line. I just am kind of bored with those, and Absolute just kind of gives me that Give me that juice. You know what I'm saying?
We've kind of gotten a little bit of a glimpse of a Superman story from Jason Aaron in the Action Comics, but this is a totally different thing. And of course, they would get someone like Jason Aaron to just totally redo Superman.
Yeah.
I think there's some potential here for a miss, which is a little worrisome. I mean, it's like that for anything, right? But like, I don't know. I see two diametrically opposed things. I look at what Aaron did with Thor, and I mean, I think that's one of the most foundational Thor stories of all time.
Right.
I haven't read all 700 and something issues of Thor, but like to me, when I think of the definitive idea of Thor, it's Jason Aaron. So I think.
Right.
But then we have like the second half of his like 65 issue run of Avengers, and it's like where he was trying to do new and unique things, and it felt fumbly. However, I'm fully in. It's on this stuff, so I'm going to put that.
To defend his Avengers. To defend his Avengers, I think the first half of his Avengers run, he had that spark of doing something new, and then it was like it was expected of him to do it every time.
Yeah,
and like that's a really hard ask. So hopefully,
it's hard ask for 65 issue run.
Hopefully, he can find a balance here with Superman. I think he will. I have no doubt. All right, let's jump over to another new number one. We got Batgirl issue number 1 from Tate Brombal.
Yeah. So I mean, Cassandra Cain's the best ever. Like, she's great, and not only like as a character in general, do I find, but honestly, the way she's been utilized lately has been fun. Both in the previous Birds of Prey volume, when it was her and Stephanie Phillips and Babs, and in this current iteration of Birds of Prey that's been a lot of fun, especially like her interactions with Big Barda. And so I imagine that Tate Brombal is going to kind of pick up where these other writers have been going with her, like her style and her personality. Tate's doing a lot of good stuff right now. Like, he's obviously part of the Slaughterverse, writing every other arc of House of Slaughter. He just did the new Lantern Elseworld story. So I'm excited for this book in general, but I'm even more excited because it's got a writer that I trust behind it.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. All right, speaking of another Bat person, we got Batman issue 154 from Chip Zdarsky. It's officially been announced that Chip's run is ending, I believe, in February. So we're coming towards the end of Chip's run, so that we can go all in on a past storyline. Whatever. Sad to see Chip go, but I'm going to enjoy it as much as I can until he's gone. We're dealing with a new villain. Gotham is yet again thrown into chaos. I mean, that's just what it is. It doesn't matter how, it's just what we're going to do. But I think I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy it as much as I can and not expect too much, because, Chip's got to leave Batman in a position where he can do classic stuff in the next run with the next team. Yeah.
And it, I don't want to say this as too much of a knock to the creative team here, because this could be out of their hands, but like, I feel like Chip is really wrestling and doing the best he can with what he's given. It's a who's who of artists for the next like 5 issues. There's not a single.
Oh my god!
Not a single artist. It's everyone that we've seen concurrently on this run for a while, and they're good artists. Like, this is You've got Carmine I can't say his name, but we've seen him a lot before. He did some Robin issues too that we both really enjoyed. Jorge Fornes is coming back, and then Tony Daniel, who's had that long run before, but we don't see him as on the art again until February. So
that's a damn shame.
Sucks.
Yeah, well, what you gonna do? All right, after that, we've got Birds of Prey issue number 15 from Kelly Thompson. The most recent arc was kind of confusing, but still fun. And now we're jumping into another arc where it appears, I believe, we're dealing with stolen Amazons, and that's cool. I love this team. This book has been so good. It's a silly goose time, a who's who of various female heroes and some villains jumping into Birds of Prey, and it's a consistent book, and from time to time it jumps into the like, wait, am I still picking this up? And then I read it and I'm like, why would I even have that thought? Like,
Yeah,
it's just that good.
it is. It's a shame that we can't get Leonardo Romero. I gotta quit talking about not having the artists we want,
No, it's just a consistent thing now. Like we can't.
but man, like his art was just so definitive in that first arc that
Yeah.
I read this book and I go, Kelly's doing a great job, and these artists are talented, but like we're missing our dad on this book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, we're missing our. It's missing the identity for sure. So, all right. After that, another new number one, a JSA from Jeff Lemire.
Jeff Lemire back on Big Two Comics.
I don't know a lot about this original, this formation of Justice. Is it the Justice Society of America?
Yep.
I don't know much about it. I do like Dr. Fate. Like the concept of Dr. Fate is really cool. I do like the original Green Lantern. And then you got like OG Flash. So this looks like fun. And again, we've got Jeff Lemire on a DC Justice Society of America book. Like I couldn't pass it up. So hopefully it's a home run. I'm sure it will be. So I am excited for it. But as bloated as my pool is right now, I hate to say this, it's got to wow me. I'm sure it will.
Yeah. So if anyone is new to the show or is just missed me almost crying every time that Fish Flies was on the show,
yeah,
I'm Jeff Lemire all the way. I think this will probably take 12 issues for me to give up on it, no matter how bad it is. So if Jim falls off, don't worry, I'll still be here for it. And we're both, one thing about the show is a lot of you are following us, learning things as we go too. We haven't been reading comics since we were 9, like ad nauseum, right? And so like, yeah, I don't think I've read a single JSA book before. I don't think I've read a single book that focuses on this team or the characters in this book. So I'm excited for Lemire to be my first exposure to these guys, besides their side quest interactions through like big event books or something.
Right. Yeah, where they pop up from here or there, like as mechanics to save the day. Our next book, a DC Black Label book, or wouldn't this be Vertigo? Like, hasn't Black Label been shifted to Vertigo?
They're letting some of them stay.
Okay.
We're going.
Whatever. Cantwell's doing Plastic Man No More, book number 3. Book number 2 got out of hand really fast. We saw the death of the Metal Man, and Plastic Man kind of being like, well, shit happens, because like he literally is dying. So he needs Uranium Man in order to fucking blow up himself and just get his DNA back in order. So it's definitely finally kind of turned. I mean, it was always dark. The first issue was very dark. Issue 2 got really dark. So I can't imagine book 3 not getting even more sadistic and more just edgy and really dark comedy. I love the other thing is I absolutely love this cover.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Hey, I'm interrupting the video. It's only because I've got something really important to tell you. I know you know what we're giving away when we hit 2,000 subscribers. I gotta let you know about what we're giving away when we hit 1,250 subscribers. We're giving away this Uncanny X-Men #1 signed by Jim Chung, CGC grade 9.8. When we hit 1,250 subscribers, you could potentially win this, but you have to be subscribed to our channel. So hit that sub button, ring that bell, and give us a like. Let's get back to the video, shall we? All right, let's jump over to Marvel, and we're going to kick it off with Aliens versus Avengers from Jonathan Hickman, issue number 2. I mean, issue 1 was my pick of the week, and that's insane. That's insane because I'm not a big Aliens fan, but Jonathan Hickman does what Jonathan Hickman does and just makes an amazing comic with just the best pieces in the toy box. Like dude can make a pile of shit into a diamond. The guy is just insane. Issue 1 had a massive key in it, so I would assume we're going to get a cover that has Miles in his new xenomorph symbiotic uniform. Spoilers. But I'm actually quite excited for this, and I have not picked a potential pick of the week, and I think this is it. This is my potential pick of the week for sure.
Yeah, as someone who is a huge Aliens nerd, this has basically been a wet dream because Aliens, Hickman, Assad Ribic. You can't like what? Someone literally was like, Nate needs a book just for him. Here it is. And honestly, some people have been kind of this is an $8 book, but you're getting a lot of pages in there, and you're getting a lot of quality. And that's one thing that I wanted to point out is we're only getting this issue every 2 months, which I know some people don't like, but my boy Assad, perfection takes time, man. Like that greatness takes, and letting that man do his thing instead of having a fill-in artist every other issue or something. Oh my god,
yeah.
I please every 2 months is totally fine. Give the man his time.
Yeah,
like, I'm totally about it. I would much rather him stay on the art than do a Batman where we're jumping every issue.
Totally agree. All right, next up, speaking of Avengers, we have Avengers issue number, what's the number because it's not on the freaking cover? 20. We've got Black Panther jumping into the living prison within the ship, dealing with the prisoners that we put there in the first arc, while the other Avengers are dealing with Doom. Does this scream? Well, does this scream kind of filler? I kind of feel like it, and the reason why I say that is because I think Doom is such a much bigger threat, with the Avengers and the overall Marvel universe, and whatever. Mechanics are mechanics. You're gonna get what you get. The fact that it's Black Panther doing it, that's going to be freaking awesome, and I'm sure he's going to look like a total badass. But I am going to say, like, dude, like, why are you leaving right when Aurora or Storm shows up? Like, we want that conflict. We want to see them resolve it. Hurry up.
I think that's part of it too. I think that's part of the drama.
Right.
Or Jed's doing that on purpose, building the drama there, building our attention for this big, interaction. Hopefully it pays off. I'm sure it will.
Well, it'll probably be in the Avengers versus X-Men arc, like that he's getting ready to do.
True. Well, just one issue.
Right.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping it would be an arc or maybe another, or maybe he'd get his X-Men involved. I know we don't want to do we don't need to be doing any crazy events, but like it's interesting to appeal to or call back on such a huge event. I mean, Avengers versus X-Men, I think the omnibus for that, I think is like 1,400 pages. Like it's like 60 issues. So for us to call this the sequel to that, and it's just like one singular issue, seems interesting.
Wow.
However, this seems, I don't know that I'd call this a filler issue, but it looks like for the ongoing, for the next 4 weeks or 4 months, we're getting one shots in the book because we've got this, and then we've got the X-Men issue, and then after that we have a Black Cat issue. So
okay,
seems like we're going one thing at a time.
All right,
we'll see.
All right, next up we have, and remind me how you would say this. I don't want to.
I believe it's Kahori.
So this character debuted in the What If series on Disney Plus, and now she's making her comic book debut. Her 616, I believe, debut was in Disney Plus. I'm not sure. All I know is that this is an important character that I think we're going to see more of in Marvel Comics and in the MCU. So if you're looking for a speculation book or you're looking for some kind of key issue, I think this is one that you may want to look into. That's all really the only reason why it's on my pull. I haven't even seen the episode that she's in. I need to go watch the second season of Disney. But I remember when she debuted, it was a big deal. I believe I think she's a reality warper, if I'm not mistaken. She essentially breaks through to the 616. I do know that. Yeah. So there's some definite weight on this character, and if you're looking for a speculation book, this is probably it, because I would not be surprised if we get an actual actress or actor playing this character very soon.
Yeah.
I mean, they already are.
Right. One thing that I think is important too about, to some it could feel pandering, and honestly maybe more pandering, but this is, like an anthology issue that's supposed to be not only introducing this character but celebrating Indigenous heritage, and I think it's important to support books like that, especially when we're telling great stories, interesting stories, but like just kind of voting with our dollar. We'll give you the tiniest sneak peek into our interview with David Pepose, but he basically says like, the economy of comics is really, really, single issues are a big deal, and obviously this is something having a be like, man, single issues, like, please, I don't know, that just like sat with me. So yeah, pick this one up.
Shout out.
New episode of Secret Origin dropping on Wednesday, so look out.
All right, after that, we got the Ultimates issue number 6, and it looks like our Ultimate version of Hulk is coming out to play, and it's not looking good for our Ultimates. I am actually quite excited for this. This Ultimate run has been absolutely fantastic. It's, were there splinters of doubt that Camp was going to be able to pull off writing basically the main Ultimates book during this new Ultimates run? Yes, of course, because people are like, why wouldn't Hickman write this book? Well, because Camp's doing a damn good job, and he's writing. Hickman's over there writing our Dream Spider-Man book. So this has been super fun. I really hope that the devastation that is on this cover does happen in the issue, because I do feel like, and this isn't a criticism, I'm just saying, like, I think it makes sense for there to be this, Empire Strikes Back kind of issue where the bad guys win. The bad guys win, and our good guys are going to have to fucking figure out how to survive, because it's not going to be easy. And I'm hoping that's what this issue is.
Yeah, I think this issue is going to be the first time that is together. That the team in its current iteration is going to get together to fight somebody, and I think Camp is probably going to hit us with a hard one. I don't know if we're going to have all the same team members after this issue.
Ruh-roh. That's gonna be dope. All right, our last book of the night is X-Men issue number. God damn it, the fucking numbers on there.
Oh, sorry.
What's 6?
7.
8? 7. We're getting. It looks like we're getting a backstory to why there's this massive, like, constructed out of metal sentinel over the town in Alaska that the X-Men have kind of taken over as their home base. So I am excited about that. Do we have, who's the artist? Is it
Netho Diaz?
Were they on it before, or
no?
Okay. So we got a new artist.
No, I'm sorry. Diaz was on the last issue.
Okay, so it's the Ryan Stigman wannabe. Sorry, that was really mean. But their artwork does resemble Stegman's artwork very, I believe, pretty well. So I guess you can't really complain about that, right? Like, we're always talking about there being consistency, but I just haven't been happy with the artwork. I feel like it's been kind of, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like X-Men title worthy. But put that criticism aside, dealing with this, forced mutation, disease, or whatever it is in humans is an intriguing storyline. And to get some history, and maybe we'll get a ton of story that we just have been missing that will complete this run, so that we're like, oh, okay, like, everything makes sense now. Like, the art's really not that big of a deal. Who knows?
Yeah. And this is the last arc here, and then I'm hopeful that we get some answers to where we finally feel like, okay, we have a better grasp of what's going on here. Let's go do Raid of Grey Malkin, because that's what's next. And Stegman's, of course, back for that. So, guys, I'm holding on. I'm a Cyclops-centered lead book. It hurts my heart, but it's Jed MacKay, so he
deserves
one of the few men that get the pass for a Cyclops.
100%. 100%. All right, that's going to do it for this week's new Comic Day video for the week of November 6th. Let us know down in the comments, what are you picking up today? What are you reading first? What's your potential pick of the week? As always, make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and give us a like. It'd be much appreciated, as we're on the road to 1,250 subscribers, but we can't do it without your support. So if you're not already subscribed, hit that sub button, ring that bell, and give us a like. Also, be on the lookout for episode 2 of Secret Origin, where Nate and I interview David Pepose, the writer who has done some amazing work. We sat down with him, and we had a really good conversation, and I'm really excited for y'all to check it out and see the next episode of Secret Origins. All right, we'll catch you guys live this Sunday, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, where we'll talk about every single book that we just talked about in our new Comic Book Day video. And hang out with y'all and have a good time, and it should be fun. So we'll catch you guys then. As always, comic fam, be kind to one another and read more comics. Later.